We're being motivated to think differently with the exponential levels of uncertainty brought on by COVID. You know, in a pre-COVID world, digital transformation was perceived to either fail or meander along, with 4 out of 5 projects typically failing. You know, there seemed to be no clearly defined sense of purpose or outcomes for digital transformation efforts. But in a strange way, COVID's actually given us a bit of a silver lining and forcing us to gain some kind of certainty in this time of enormous uncertainty. The very essence of customer behavior is being reshaped by the new operating environments that we find ourselves in. You know, a person needs, according to experts, 66 days to change behavior and make a behavior more automatic. And the global and certainly the South African COVID consumer has been operating under new conditions, the new so-called normal, for more than 10 months, almost 300 days, which is 5 times the average number of days required to see a change. All the time, our consumer market has been evolving and becoming digital-first warriors. We learn from our customers, we really can. How are they changing? What are they worried about? What are their aspirations? What are they making? How are they making their decisions? How can we evaluate customer journeys to deliver better journeys? How can we better communicate with them? How can we better serve them? And then use technology as an enabler to only drive digital transformation, but innovative experiences. So we recognize that digital transformation is not an event or a piece of software or a new website. There's no single solution, no magic wand. It's a collaborative process of discovery between clients, partners, subject matter experts, technologists, and creative teams to actually identify specific examples within a business ecosystem that actually can be digitally enhanced or improved to yield significant improvements in service delivery, customer relationship management, and client servicing. So we as Cardinal feel obligated and obliged to raise the awareness and be part of the conversation and the solution. We want to engage more actively with our stakeholders in our market to help shape their as well as our own digital journey. So on that note, I'd like to share with you how we are achieving digital transformation at Cardinal. Now, our business is not really any different to your business. Cardinal's also been and continues to navigate its way through exciting opportunities with that digital transformation presents to us. And how we respond to the new novel economy is not guided by any case studies or checklists or best practices. We have to navigate this as a collective to get the best possible outcomes. So, firstly, we know that organizational culture can be the #1 inhibitor or the #1 catalyst for digital transformation. We've certainly learned that. Our staff have worked 100% from home and have remained at home since the very first lockdown. We obviously take their safety and health very seriously, and our infrastructure and staff support structures for off-site working, and it's been part of our culture, fortunately, for more than 3 years. But we have staff across all major centers in South Africa, in Mauritius, and in the UK, and we believe that our productivity is currently at the highest level it's ever been, and it's evident across all our teams within the business. So, you know, at the beginning of our digital transformation journey, we recognized that there was a need to drive the change from the top right down through the entire organization. So the first change that we made was to appoint a new chief digital officer, which is Devon, responsible for digital transformation at an organizational level, not just some department on the side dabbling in some new ideas or technology. You know, we needed to show that we were committed to this change. So we changed all operational staff and reporting lines into Devon so that we do not have 2 different agendas for the organization, and accountability for change sits with one person. This decision is helping us achieve alignment between our strategic and our operational execution. We also introduced a number of new programs in our business to increase our communication and maintain more contact with our remotely working staff. Firstly, we started something called Cardinal Masterclass, on a weekly basis as a learning development initiative to share business critical information with all our staff. The entire company meets every Monday for an hour, and we teach everyone about business. We teach them about our business, and we do it with absolute transparency. We also started weekly sessions for our executive team called Cardinal First, which is aimed at taking a more critical look at parts of our people, our processes, our systems that could benefit from enhancements, changes, or completely new solutions aiding digital transformation. We also have something called Good News Friday, obviously every Friday, for the whole company to share our new products, services, system enhancements, and various successes as well as failures, and all learnings within our business. And then lastly, we changed to a culture of manage by project, because we honestly believe that what gets measured gets done. So our new professional services team, which is just under a year old, plays a major role in ensuring that work across all areas is managed through a 10-day sprint cycles, and project plans hosted in our cloud-based project tool monitored closely. And because of the new working conditions that we measure our staff based on outputs, which in turn is managed through a project or sprint plan. To ensure that we have a sense of purpose, we've invested heavily in new technology, new capacity, as well as new skills. We really did need a whole new set of skills to join our business. Our technology offering has grown from a single line back office insurance management system, which we've done for more than 20 years, to a number of complementary software products and services in the space of about 3 to 4 years. And Devin will talk to those technology offerings later on. But for scalability and capacity, we also acquired a controlling stake in 2 specialist software development businesses, Custom App and Cavalry. And they are basically best of breed in digitization software development. And in that space, they focus on specializing in these verticals for the insurance industry. So this means that the Cardinal Group now offers our clients a turnkey digital transformation service, from strategic formulation to solution building, and managed through our new professional services team, a far cry from how we used to operate. And then lastly, we've added and continue to add a number of new skills for customer journey, user experience, user interface designs, client solutioning, business analysis, business process re-engineering, and project management. We're now using our experience to inform our digital transformation journeys with our clients, and passing on the learnings and sharing their experience with them. So we want to share with everyone the excitement and trepidation that will be encountered on your own journey to digital transformation success. So on that note, I'd like to introduce you to one of our important clients, Renee van Schalkwyk, who's Head of Claims and more recently Digital Transformation at Aon. Renee brings a wealth of experience in our industry after 20 plus years, working across multiple disciplines, but predominantly specializing in the claims area. So welcome, Renee.
Thank you, Graham. I think you need to stop sharing. You need to make me the host before I can share.
Okay, Craig will do that. Craig, you there?
Yeah, Graham, I'm just trying to make her the host, but it's not letting me do that.
So not to worry, Renee. I'll just continue.
Yeah, apologies. It's first time round. Some lessons.
Okay.
Okay, great. So good afternoon, everybody. Firstly, thank you to Cardinal for giving me the opportunity to share my experiences on your webinar today around, I think, for everybody, this very exciting topic. So to start off with, on the first slide, I'm going to tell you now when to skip the slides. Okay, so the first slide, I want to start off by just sharing some interesting stats around digital journey and what our customers want around that. So in the 2020 South African Digital Customer Experience Report, it was found that 49% of customers prefer self-service tools as opposed to human contact. And that number will certainly increase as our customer base changes in the future. then 74% of these customers prefer self-service because it's convenient. So that is literally the reason why they go with self-service. 73% of these customers also prefers using a company's website rather than social media, SMSs, or live chats. Now, 55% of customers that do not prefer self-service tools do not prefer them because they find the self-service tools to be too difficult to use. So whether or not you want to start a digital journey or make any changes is really no longer an option. It has really become a necessity. So you can skip. When looking back at the past few years at Aon, we have really started our digital transformation journey long before we actually labeled it as a digital transformation journey in 2020. We actually embarked on this journey because we had a desired outcome in mind, which I will get to later and explain to you what that was. But the two most important things I realized as we are going through this digital journey is, firstly, digital transformation is exactly what Graham said. It's more than a single solution. It's not a system. It's not just technology in silos. It's like small parts of a puzzle that fits together to eventually give you a bigger picture. And secondly, for me, it takes time. It is not a quick fix. It's not slamming on technology, switching on a system. It's really a journey that you embark on to get to an end destination. And along that journey, sometimes you walk, sometimes you crawl, sometimes you sprint, sometimes it goes fast. But with perseverance, endurance, and patience, you do get closer and closer to that destination. The first part of our puzzle was consolidation. You can skip to the next slide. And one of the most important parts that we had to look at during this journey so far was consolidation. And that's why I'm saying we've actually started with this journey long ago. Consolidation of systems and data to ensure that we have a single vision of the truth. I think that was the most important part for us. Consolidation was an important part of our journey as it helped us understand the next step in our journey or the next piece of our puzzle, which really was, and you can skip again, our business model. So it forced us to review how we do things, exactly how we interact with our clients, how and what the value is that we want to bring to our clients and how we want to do it. We reviewed all our functions and we were able to group similar functions together to really eliminate duplication and multiple ways of doing things. So instead of having 23 processes to process a motor claim, we've like combined all of that and we've put the same people together to do the same thing, and then we're in a position to look at those processes. We also reviewed our team structures, and in many cases, we grouped similar teams together, which enabled us to move specialized functions to specialists and not have a motor claims handler, for instance, dealing with a marine claim. You can go to the next slide. So the next part of our puzzle, collaboration. So Graham also touched on collaboration. And for us, that was really a key part of this journey up to this point. And it is actually playing a bigger and bigger role as we continue on this journey that we're currently on. For us, it is a process, and it's really a process of discovery, to identify opportunities to enhance. It's also an inclusive process where different role players collectively participate to identify opportunities, where we can really become more efficient, more effective, and deliver real value to our clients. So collaboration became almost the glue that's holding our puzzle together. And I think that's where we form partnerships with people like Cardinal, where we get the right people in the room and we all look at our processes, our functions, our systems, our technology, our service delivery, our models all together and find the best possible solutions. So the next part of our puzzle, you can skip again, is process transformation. So with all the work that we've done up to that point, we have really placed ourselves in a position where we can now focus on process transformation. So with collaboration as the key ingredient, we are reviewing processes and identifying opportunities to enhance or automate processes on a continuous basis. So it's not something that we've done and stopped. We are continuing to do that. So as we go through this, we continue to do it. It's not something that we've done, tick the box and moved on. It still happens every day. And as we move through this journey, sometimes this is one of the parts that slows us down. It's sometimes one of the things that makes us go back and rethink. It's the part that makes it hard to move forward. But we have, in the early stages of this journey, realized that the value that these transformations will add to our business. So it's not review a process, transform the process, change the process, add technology and move on. As we go through this journey together, we identify more and more and more and more opportunities. And sometimes we really have to start from scratch and rethink the whole thing and ask questions. Why are we doing that way, doing things this way? Is it the best possible solution for our clients? Is it the best outcome? And we have to go back and redo sometimes. So that happens during the journey, which brings me to the next part of our puzzle. You can skip. Technology. So technology really excites me, and it's the one single thing that I always thought a digital transformation journey is all about, which is actually totally wrong. As we go through the process transformation reviews, we still identify gaps where technology can be brought in to support processes. It is where we identify various different possible solutions that can be used and then finding the best one. It is really about working together with technical guys, the subject experts, creative teams, and also the client to get to the right answer. So technology is not designed, developed, and rolled out in a day. It takes a lot of brainstorming, a lot of designing, a lot of data collection exercises, a lot of testing, a lot of process reviews and reviews again and again and again to get us to the point where we want. And I've soon realized that the part that excites me the most, which is technology, is really one of the hardest parts. So it is not as simple as we're going on a digital transformation journey, pick a system, switch it on, and there we go. There's a lot of work, a lot of things that needs to go into it. And you realize quickly as you move forward on this journey that technology cannot fix everything. It cannot fix a broken process, or you cannot just add a system and all is good. Yes, technology like online portals, mobile applications, and robotics can be introduced, but technology should enhance your value offering and support the way in which you deliver to your clients, rather than using it to tick a box or to get to a point where you are able to say, we have completed our digital transformation journey. So that's really the idea. You shouldn't think about the digital transformation journey in terms of we tick the box, or yes, we've gone through a journey. It is, how do we really make things better for our clients? So a digital transformation journey is a continuous process that includes all the puzzle pieces that I've mentioned up to this point. And it happens every day, and as we go through the process all the time. And I doubt it will ever end. I think the reason I say that is because of my last piece of the puzzle. You can skip to the next slide, which is feedback. It is critical for us to build that feedback loop. I think that's where once we go through a journey, we also always think we've done it and now we're done. But I think that feedback loop is the missing part that we often miss, and where we collect data and feedback that will enable us to continuously improve, even if it takes us through some of those pieces of the puzzles over and over and over again until we get to the perfect picture. Whether it's the quality of the information available on websites, the ease of using self-service tools, or turnaround times on automated processes, the feedback creates new opportunities all the time that will assist you in achieving your desired outcome. For us, the desired outcome was really about two main things. So you can skip to the next slide. Firstly, it was all about customer experience. How will our digital transformation journey improve our customers' experience when dealing with us? How do we make it easier, painless, and effortless for clients to deal with us? How do we make any experience, whether it's buying a new policy, doing a renewal, or making a claim, a memorable one for the client, or an experience that will help us retain existing clients or attract new clients, not or and. And I think you can skip to the next slide. The second desired outcome was really about colleague experience. Our colleagues in Aon that works for us. Our digital transformation journey is also aimed at improving their experience, reducing time that they spend on administrative tasks, reducing time spent on capturing data and creating capacity for them so that they can really spend their time on providing quality advice to our clients and building strong client relationships. So to close off, you can skip to the next slide. In short, the learnings for me up to this point is about 4 things. If I have to highlight 4 things that stands out. 1, digital transformation journey is a combined effort between a lot of role players, and Cardinal has been part of our journey thus far. And it's a team of people that puts those pieces of the puzzles together. It's a team of people that works together through this journey over and over again. If we have to re-look at a process, if we have to re-look at gaps, if we have to find new solutions, we do it as a team and we find it together. Number 2 is really, it's absolutely critical to understand what our customers want before we just embark on a journey and introduce technology to tick a box. I think it is important to understand how many of our clients are really using it. How does what we are building or what we are doing and creating, how will it benefit our clients? How will it make their lives easier? And how will it add value to their day-to-day lives in doing their jobs? The third thing for me, digital transformation is more than just technology. I think Graham has said that, I've said it earlier. It's all about the pieces that fits together to build that big picture. It's more than just the system. It's more than just an online portal. It's more than just a mobile application. A digital transformation is all those little pieces that goes together. And then lastly, the 4th one, for me, it is a journey. It is absolutely not a quick fix. It's not switch on and there we go. We've got a white label product that we're using and we are good to go. So for me, when doing a digital transformation journey, it takes time. It's a journey, not a 100-meter sprint. Thank you. That is me.
Renee, thank you very much. Sorry, we had some challenges there with the slide. It seems that we were one slide back. But yeah, we managed to go through all of it. And I have to say, it's invaluable having somebody who's walked the walk and is heavily invested in this process. We've certainly been impressed with what Aon have been doing. And as she mentioned, it really is a journey and a very exciting one, but certainly one with lots of components in its makeup. But thank you very much, Renee. That was very insightful for people that are going to be going down on this journey. Right, so next up we have Devin. I think a lot of you have not had the pleasure of meeting Devin. Devin joined our business close on a year ago. He has a lot of experience, in our industry, at an executive level at Forbes, through to extensive knowledge in the claims space. And Devin really came into our business to help us mature our back office operations and really take a step up in that regard, and formed an area in our business called Cardinal Pro, which is basically professionalizing how we deliver our business and offering to our customers. And Devin's obviously had a lot of experience in this digitization space, and that's why he's also Group Digital Chief of Digital and Operations Officer for our business, a title that I've never seen before, the CDO. But yeah, welcome, Devin, and over to you. Would you want to share your screen?
Yes, please. Thanks, Graham.
Sure.
And thanks, Renee. Okay, can you see that?
No, we can't, Devin.
It says I'm disabled, Graham. Sorry.
Okay. Shall I just continue sharing mine?
Graham, you as host, you need to make Devin host, and then he can share.
I see.
Or the other Graham Hobby.
There we go. Okay. Can you try, Dev?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Thanks, Graham. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you see that, guys?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
You can hear me clearly? Thanks. So, as everyone's outlined, I think, we all understand that digital transformation is really a journey. It's a process that you have to go through. And we've been very fortunate that we've gone through this process in the last 2 years within our own business. And this is not just about what we put out to the market. This is us looking at our internal business and evaluating exactly where the changes are, what has happened in the market, what's going to happen in the market. And ultimately, we had to define what is our sandbox and where are we going to play, what is different from where we were, and what has transpired over the last 20 years. So we know Cardinal has always been very strong from an insurance management system point of view. Our flagship product, which is now called C360 or Cardinal 360, is an evolution of a number of predecessors before that. Okay, so that remains the core of our business, and I think it will always be core to our business. But what we've realized is that we have to build out over and above our core product into other layers of the insurance organization. So strategically, we are now structuring our business to start adding layers to our core, which is 360 or insurance management software. And the first layer that we started building out is a Cardinal 360 API. This is really just creating a window that's able to access all of that power that we've created in what we call a line of business system. And the API is critical in informing the next layer, which is a new product offering called Cardinal 360 iPlatform. And iPlatform is going to be a solution of all internet services and capabilities, typically along the lines of what Renee referred to and what Graham spoke about around self-service and making sure that we can treat the customer and respond to the customer's needs as the current customer starts to evolve from a digital first perspective. We also have Cardinal 360 Sync, and 360 Sync talks specifically to a data transformation strategy that we have. And what we set out to do with 360 Sync and what we've achieved is a seamless connection between any two instances of a Cardinal platform. So if you're talking between two entities, either an insurer or a broker, or a UMA and a broker, and you need to bring that data back into your business, we can now seamlessly move that data from one instance of 360 to another, and it would appear as though you are actually working on the partner system. Okay, now we all know the number of challenges we have in the industry around data transformation, data synchronization, and we all legislated to make sure that we can bring the data into our businesses and keep it. Okay, and with 360 Sync, we are able to synchronize data both ways. And for the backwards integration or reverse integration or synchronization, we're actually able to control workflow transactions. So you can initiate a transaction at a partner, you can approve it at the center or at an insurance layer, and then seamlessly it goes back to the partner without any emails or any verbal communication happening, and everything happens on the system. And then lastly, we recognize that the market, the partners that we have, the industry that we're in, it's very difficult to work in isolation. And we decided that we're going to start looking at opportunities to share and bring together a level of collaboration between our partners that run 360 or services that are required to our partners within a 360 marketplace or network that they can leverage off Cardinal. So as an example, Cardinal Marketplace it'll be a place where you can go to and shop for things that are not related to your standard insurance management software. Now, this model is referred to familiarly as the Cardinal onion. So it's the layers of onion that we've defined, but it underpins everything that we're doing at the moment. And it's informing our technology stack and our technology roadmap. So just going back to 360 and how we came about, you'll notice that 360, from the inception in 2002, we've had a very single-minded focus around a single line of business system for software for insurance management. And the key here is that it's been a single highway, a single road, and we remain very focused. And every time we had a new generation or a new upgrade, all we did was we tried to make sure that we stayed ahead of everything that was possible from a technology and architecture and a design perspective. So we kept our code up to date, we kept our designs up to date, we kept the architectures up to date to make sure that we gave the best possible platform to the market. And suddenly along comes digital transformation, and it made us sit up and think about what the next 5 years would look like from a software perspective. And we realized that staying with just a core platform is no longer good enough, because digital transformation is informing that the landscape's changing, the domains are changing. There's new entrants coming into the market. There's new ways of doing business, and we needed to be able to respond to that. So what we did is we took the layers of the onion and we extracted that against our technology designs and our roadmaps and platforms. We took the fact that our domain has changed. We took global tech trends into consideration. And lastly, we took what our customers need. And from 2021 going forward for the next 4 years, what we have is a superhighway with multiple lanes and a number of new products that you'd see coming out from Cardinal. And all of these products, in our opinion, is our response to the transformation that's happening in the industry and the digitization of business. And these are key requirements that our clients and partners would require. So you'd see we have Cardinal 360 iPlatform, which I spoke about. So that's internet services and front-end capability that will sit on top of 360 Core. And that's going to be enabled by a very strong API. Then we have 360 Core, which remains in place. It gets improved. It's as robust as it always was. And we focus on core elements of that technology. But going forward, what we're going to start to have is a lot more focus on the iPlatform capabilities to make sure it's mobile and web enabled. And then lastly, we've got 360 Sync. Now, from an international perspective and from a future technology architecture perspective, we've also spoken to the market in the past about iPlatform, so we have 360 iPlatform, which is a version of the internet based front ends. And then we have iPlatform, which is really a new architecture, microservices-based architecture, fully cloud native that we've been building over the last 3 years in parallel to the South African business. And, we're pleased to note that that product is now live for a single client. It's working. It runs a single line of business for that client. And what we're doing now is we will achieve a level of convergence over the next 5 years where the change from the current architecture on 360 Core to the new architecture will become seamless because the front ends are all going to be standardized. So our clients would not need to go through a conversion of technology or a conversion of systems from a front end perspective. So the C360 iPlatform, which is the local product, and iPlatform, which is our international product, will have the same front-end capabilities. So we're enabling the journeys now, and the technology convergence will happen over the next 3 to 5 years. Okay, so that's a big part of where we are from a stack perspective. Just looking at it from a different perspective, we understand for most businesses and most attendees on this call, you have a typical insurance business. So at the core, you need an insurance or broker or administrator type management system. Okay. Then in order for you to access more capabilities and service your clients differently for digital transformation, you need to be able to talk to that system. And typically it's going to be a legacy system. And this is amazing because digital transformation is giving an extended life to legacy platforms. Okay, so you have an API that needs to then talk to the system that's in place. And in front of the API, you put in web and mobile layers for client front ends. And that's typically self-service, broker self-service, client self-service, for claims, for policy administration, for general service requests. So it's any element of service or transactional processing that you want to move away from your business and closer to the consumer. And then you'll have the front ends is basically the system or the solution that's going to facilitate the entrance point for those clients to come in. Now, from a technology stack perspective for Cardinal, we have 360 at the core. So that's going to remain where it is. There's a lot of focus still on the product. There's work being done on the product, but over the next 2 to 3 years, it's not going to be as extensive as the work that we're going to be doing on iPlatform and all the other services that we're building out. Sitting above that is a very strong API. So we're going to be exposing the whole of 360 Core via an API solution. And that's going to facilitate two things. The first is going to be the digital window, which is services that we can activate in the front end coming in via the API. And the second one is the data window. And that's where we're exposing data, very structured data, low-level structured data that's sitting on 360 to our partners either via a peer-to-peer communication or a file exchange, but we have file standards and we have exchanges in place that can move the data from point A to point B. But our biggest product there is going to be 360 Sync if we're doing it from one Cardinal 360 instance to another. We then have 360i platform. So in the digital journey that we're going through now, what we're finding is that our clients are opting for very personalized client journeys. And this is what's amazing, that every one of our clients will sit on the same platform, C360, but every one of our clients could have a unique front-end experience that they're creating for their clients, depending on how they imagine the journey to be. And it depends on which elements of the journey they want to activate to be on the front end. But what we're doing, in addition to all the customized work that we do for our clients, is we're building C360i platform, which is going to offer the market standard functionality. So this is where when you log in the front end, you'll come into the Cardinal system and you can see your claim and you can see your policy record and you can do basic administration on the platform. So you can get more access to it. It's more mobile and it definitely makes things faster from a client enablement perspective. And that client can either be a network of brokers or it can be the insured client. And we also have 360 Sync, which is then going to come in and start to move data between entities. And we have a couple of projects on the go now where we're aggregating data across multiple brokers. We're bringing it into the center to an insurer instance of C360, and that data then synchronizes without any interference. It synchronizes on a daily basis, and we can set the frequency. It comes into the insurer system, and then the insurer can go in and look at the broker information as though they're looking at the broker's instance of C360. So that's the level of detail that we put in. And lastly, these are all sort of the common technology references at the moment from a front-end perspective, and a lot of it comes up when people start to talk about digital transformation. So you have chatbots, you have WhatsApp for Business, you have progressive web apps, you have native mobile apps in iOS, Android, or Windows, and you have process automation through robotics. And we're quite pleased that we are busy with all of these at the moment. We have capability in terms of full stack development, both in South Africa and in Mauritius, to develop all of these platforms on top of what we have. And I think that for us has been the most exciting change that we've made over the last 2 to 3 years, is that we have the full capabilities within the organization now to control the journey, control the output, but most importantly, what we're doing is we have the most amount of IP from an insurance perspective that allows us to quickly solution how a front end talks to our back end. We build all the gateways. So by us building the front end, controlling the gateway in terms of the API, and owning the back end from a 360 perspective, we find that we are best placed to fast track a client's journey from concept to solution. Okay, so now you don't need to go out and actually engage with a digital agency or a website builder and then come back to us for an integration point or an API or a web service. Now we can talk to you about the journeys that you want to enable, and we have 2 capable units that are able to produce that software and build that solution from a front-end perspective. And because they're working with us all the time, they understand our data structures, they understand our tech, they understand the technical integration. So it just becomes faster and better as we move forward with this. Okay, so that, in summary, gives you a view of what our technology stack is. And just to close on this point, my last point is, all of that together is what we now call the Cardinal platform play. So we firmly believe, through the influence of digital transformation and the way the market has evolved over the last 2 or 3 years, we are no longer knocking on anyone's door talking about a single product for software, for insurance administration. Our conversations now are about a platform. It's enabling capabilities within your business that extend way beyond what the core transactional system does for insurance management. And that's me. Thank you. Next up, we have Michelle. Michelle Ashen from MUA is the marketing and brand manager. A very interesting personality, has her hands in a lot of different initiatives, very socially responsible, big focus on sustainability, and her approach to design, her approach to CI and the CX journey has been very interesting for us in our working with Michelle, and that's why we thought Michelle will be a very interesting person to have on this webinar. Michelle, welcome. Thank you for speaking. I'm going to hand over to you now, and I'm just going to stop sharing for a sec, okay? Oh, sorry, would you like me? I'm just going to keep yours on, right?
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Okay.
Graham, Dev. Just kidding.
It's okay. We know who you're talking.
What's that?
I said it's okay. We know who you're speaking to.
Good afternoon, everyone. As Devin said, my name's Michelle Ashen. Yes, I'm a jack of a number of trades, but really in this particular context, I think it would be appropriate to say that I'm a systems thinker who doesn't believe in solving problems at the surface, just addressing the symptom of a problem that actually rests beneath the waterline. To get to the source, the dark, deep, uncomfortable places where one scene is the solution, that's where one really gets to activate transformation. You know, in the age of disruption, businesses live and die by their ability to adapt, which is perhaps why working at the surface is actually no longer an option. Businesses are looking to build regenerative capacity and agility to navigate change and uncertainty. And being on this journey in various and in multiple contexts throughout my career has really given rise to an intimate appreciation that there's a big difference between change and transformation for me. Change initially modifies behavior, right? So you can change music, you can change your dress code, you can change an approach, you can change your direction, but change always starts as a new set of behaviors. For example, if you change your diet, it's the start of 2021 and you want to get rid of the carbs and the sugar. You might start by giving up your old breakfast cereal and instead make an omelette or mix up a protein shake. But because it's behavior-based, you might find yourself longing for that good old bowl of cornflakes with cold milk and sugar. You might even grab the cereal out of habit right before realizing what you've done, only to put it back in the cupboard, albeit reluctantly. However, transformation modifies values and desires. And this is really about going beneath the waterline and not treating the symptom, but rather going to the root cause. And again, if one goes back to using the diet as an example, transformation happens when you no longer want the cereal. In fact, you're actually craving the protein. And even on those days when the cereal is being served, your heart and your head, they lead you to go out of your way to make a different choice. Change can also be small and incremental, but it can also be large and quite complex. It's something that needs to be constantly monitored and maintained. Think about the change management process and procedures just in an IT division. Technology right now is changing at a rapid rate. You don't put solutions in place and hope for the best. I think if you reflect on what Renee was sharing and also Devin just relating back to the tech stack, you get a good sense that it's actually not that simple, right? So it has an owner, it's got metrics, it involves continuous improvements, or continuous external effort is needed to maintain the actions required to achieve those desired results. But transformation is almost always large and significant. Transformation is internal, it's fundamental change in your beliefs of why you perform certain actions. And transformation doesn't require any external influence to maintain. And because of its fundamental nature, transformation is more likely to be permanent. That's sustainable change. And it's about using external influences to modify actions to achieve those desired results. The Cardinal team in this context could be considered an external influence to modify your actions to achieve a desired result in your digital transformation journey. And that's certainly for us at MUA. Transformation is also about modifying your beliefs so that natural actions achieve the desired results. So if we think about simple examples like change could be switching from Google Drive to Dropbox. But transformation is about building your teams and enabling collaboration through the full integration, right? Change is changing your hair color, going on a diet, losing 5 kilos. But transformation is doing, for example, MBSR, cultivating an attitude of mindfulness so that what you eat and how you choose to be in the world is not for short-term gain, but actually is a way of being. I love what Peter Drucker says. He says, the greatest danger in times of turbulence is not the turbulence, it's to act with yesterday's logic. Rising customer expectations, aging populations and workforces, declining market size, intensifying competition, and closer regulatory scrutiny add further complexity to the insurance industry for the next few years. And as insurance firms, we have to adapt to maturing markets and economic turbulence in the long run. Our ability to integrate technology, talent, business model innovation into legacy environments may actually be the key to our success. Deloitte's research and their industry outlook for the next decade doesn't only highlight this reality, but they also coin the phrase for this observation as the synthesis challenge. Renee was talking about the process that she's gone through from the context of claims, but this is also the context of the business that we're looking at, right? So to overcome this challenge is about integrating innovation in technology, talent, and business models into change-resistant environments, but also our ability to navigate this may actually prove to be the biggest determinant of the industry's success in the next decade. And if we think about and just reflect on those statements, systems thinking is critical. We often think that what we learned in school doesn't count for much, but it does. And it still holds many significant lessons today. And one that one needs to be particularly mindful of is that lesson we had in Standard 8, just gave my age away. I still refer to standards, but it was the biology lesson we had in cells, right? This is a system, right? It's a system of various different parts. I remember the one in particular that would stand out for me is the mitochondria, that one part of the cell in the system that provides it with the energy and exchange in order for it to operate. The cytoplasm, it holds all of this together. That's almost like the culture in an organization. And if we look at the particular cell through the lens of a business, you've got a system. You've got finance, you've got technology, you've got distribution, you've got sales, you've got HR, strategy, claims, compliance. You've got all of these different components. And really what Deloitte is reflecting on is the biggest challenge that financial services has. And for the most part, I think organizations today is to address the integration of all of this on the digital transformation journey. The complexity to navigate in this system is the integration. It's the synthesis of all of these parts in order to win. And if one aspect of that cell is not working or forgotten, you're left with no choice but to change the map, deviate from the map, because the territory's been forgotten. The cell doesn't work as effectively as it could. So not everyone can be an expert in everything, right? We all have our strengths, but we also need to tap into the collective mind power. And having a mastermind group is powerful. Napoleon Hill, who studied the success of great innovators from the Wright brothers to Thomas Edison to Henry Ford, recognized that this particular principle was actually critical, that when two people get together, there is a third mind, a mastermind that is created. So mastermind groups are powerful in its ability to support the digital transformation journey. So don't underestimate or undervalue the return on investment that a mastermind group can bring. Renee referred to it in terms of bringing different people together to think collectively. And this is often something that I talk about, whether it be in developing strategy or the design and implementation of learning and development solutions we're producing for brokers in the financial services industry, is that the map is not the territory. You can have all the strategies in the world, but what happens on the ground and in the field can often impact things significantly. A simple example, we use Microsoft, use Teams in our organization, but when we started our learning solutions with the broker community that we serve, Zoom provided the most flexibility and exclusivity to this particular audience. Another example, which I often like to recite, I remember Devin was facilitating a session in our organization last year, and I knew the map, I had a solid sense of the territory, and it was a long workshop. It was a good few hours that we were going into it. And I'm also an MBSR practitioner. And so I knew that I needed to deploy a beginner's mindset into this particular scenario. And because it was about showing the map, it was also about walking alongside the executives and first line managers for them to get a feel for the territory, for them to see through a different filter, for them to champion in their own way for this digital transformation journey. And Devin is very skillful at doing that. I mean, ask me to facilitate team dynamics, no problem. Ask me to facilitate digital transformation with the leadership team, I can't do that. That's a completely different dance. And that's a different skill, but one that is critical to create the influence, the buy-in, but also the ownership to be in creation of this journey in a collaborative, consultative way, as opposed to you're on the project team and you're just in reaction to what's being seen, heard, done, and needs to be implemented. And lastly, just in closing, acceptance and respect for the complexity of a digital transformation journey is critical. This is not a walk in the park. Systems thinking is fundamental. If you want digital transformation as a journey to succeed, you need to collaborate with a variety of expert thinking partners, different divisions, diverse perspectives, with a mindfulness that if you're not inclusive, your efforts could actually cost you the growth and the sustainability that you're ultimately after. And understanding the need for the map and the nuance in navigating the territory, that requires thinking partners, because you want to bring in different people with different perspectives from different levels of the organization so that you're in touch and in tune with not only what's happening in the field internally, but also what's external to you. You need to take your filters off throughout this journey, and you need thinking partners who can bring perspective and diversity to your investment decisions. Change takes effort, but I'll tell you, transformation takes a whole lot of courage. And that's me.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you very much. That was really informative and a great perspective from a digital transformation point of view. I'm going to stop sharing now, and I'm going to allow Craig to come online.
Thank you, Dev. Michelle, that was very inspiring. So thank you. Dev, I'm still disabled. Sorry, my system is disabled, not me. I appreciate that we're fast approaching 4 o'clock. If you guys can spare another 5-10 minutes, I'm not going to be as long as the other speakers, and hopefully I can wrap it up fairly quickly. Dave, enable me as host, please.
Sorry, Craig, I'm just...
So if you click on participants, and then you click on panelists, and then on my name, then under more, you can actually see enable host.
So I've just changed it to all panelists can share now. Sorry.
Okay, let me try that now. Thank you. Yes, fantastic. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I know I was introduced earlier. My name is Craig Grasco. I am currently performing the role of Chief Commercial Director, and my new focus is on business development, customer relationships, and obviously growing Cardinal's market share. So thank you for attending the webinar. I'm going to get onto my slides fairly quickly, so I know you guys have to dash off. What I'm going to be speaking about is digital transformation, reshaping our products and services. if you just have a look at that slide, you'll recognize that the strategic statements for operational efficiencies could be from any business, from any time. If you go back 20 years, all of these would still be valid goals for any business. The difference today is that technology is an enabler that makes these objectives far more achievable. People today are more informed, more tech savvy, making them better ambassadors for change and ultimately digital transformation. Technology is lowering the barrier to entry. What's important is its speed and agility and not size that will be the advantage. Okay, what does digital business mean to the organization? What these stats confirm is that the clenched optimization of people, process, and technology is now more relevant than before. We have to make sure that we have equal investment into each of these verticals to guarantee a high degree of success. So who's holding back transformation initiatives? If you're in the driving seat, you need to ensure that everyone within all business structures understand the extent of your digital journey and the commitment you're making to guarantee success. Equally, if the executives, managers, or the team that should be driving your agenda is failing, then change the leadership or reach out for help, talk to your network, find partners that understand the journey. I think Michelle touched on that pretty nicely. You need to broaden your network and speak to lots of people to get different perspectives. Please speak to Cardinal. We've got a lot of knowledge in this space, and we're happy to have those conversations with you. Actually, we're excited to have those conversations with you. You get 4 types of digital transformation. Starting off with business process. And what business process is, we see the processes of transformation in sales, policy management, claims, and client servicing. So business processes are evolving, are transforming. Your business model is transforming. It talks to fundamental changes in your building blocks of your business model to develop new values. So if you take, for example, Uber, Netflix, Apple Music, and a couple others, that's a fundamental change in how that business was operating prior to these guys entering the market. They made a fundamental change to the market. So we've got certain guys, Pineapple and other online digital insurers popping up. They are trying to make fundamental changes, and it's important to take note of that and how we're going to digitally transform our businesses to be able to make that fundamental change in your business. Domains, new technologies are refining products and services, blurring industry boundaries, and creating entirely new sets of non-traditional competitors. A good example is Amazon. Amazon was doing exceptionally well. They launched AWS, Amazon Web Service, and now that contributes over 60% of their annual revenue. So they redefined their products and services and stretched the boundaries and created new entry points, and that's what we need to explore together and understand how to do that. Cultural and organizational, that was mentioned quite a lot earlier. So long-term digital transformation requires redefining organizational mindsets, processes, and talent, capabilities for the digital world. So your business needs to evolve. The way that you do things now and the way that you react to your client base, your users, your customers, how you actually transact with them needs a cultural and fundamental change in your business. So the one nice thing is we've done this. We can help you. So with business processes, we've got subject matter experts, we've got professionals, we've got expert services, we've got deep domain knowledge, we've got product knowledge, software knowledge. So please speak to us, and we'll gladly, like I said, we welcome those conversations. With your business model to make a fundamental change in your business, we've got mobile apps, we've got progressive web apps, we've got APIs, we've got lots that we're building to enable your business and change the fundamental business building blocks. Domain, Devin touched on earlier that we've launched our first native cloud true insurance platform called the R Platform for specialists that operates in the UK and in Australia, and they do most of the administration out of South Africa. So we are busy integrating Cardinal 360 and working with our native cloud technology. So we are blurring the industry boundaries and creating new entry points and creating non-traditional competitors. So speak to us and let's go on that journey. Let's understand how we can enable your business. And then lastly, your culture and organizational changes. Our professional services guys, we've got facilitators, we've got business analysts. Because we're doing it in multiple places, we get a full overview and a great understanding of how to manage it in your environment, in your business, and we can give you lots of advice. So again, please speak to us, get hold of me. I'll set up those conversations with pleasure. Lastly, to everyone here, thank you very much for staying on. I really appreciate it. To all the participants, we hope that this brings some clarity to your digital transformation journey. Look, I'm very excited. I'm stoked. I can't wait to get going faster. To our speakers, really appreciate it. Thank you very much for sharing your experiences and also being such amazing catalysts for digital change within your business and the market. Your knowledge and partnerships is truly valued. We will maintain this platform, the WebEx platform, to pursue more conversations on the digital journey, the lessons learned, opportunities achieved, and opportunities available to your business and to the sector. So just from the Cardinal team, a hearty thank you. Really appreciate it. Let's engage. This is going to be the first of many webinars. Hopefully we'll get better at it. There could be some music on hold and the handovers will get slicker at it. But really appreciate your time. We will make the presentations available. And the video, or this has been recorded, so it will be available on request. I think it'll be quite a big file, so we'll figure out the best way to make it available. It would be nice for your organizations to see more of this and to do more of this. So from our side, thank you, and yeah, all the best. Stay safe, stay COVID-free. Graham, do you want to add anything?
No, that's it, Craig. Yeah, a special thank you to our guest speakers for their preparation for today. And for everybody who stayed on longer than an hour, we apologize for running over. But as Craig said, this will be our future way of engaging and sharing with our customers and our wider industry, not just our partners and our customers. So thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it. If you have any questions, please feel free to send them through to Craig. And if you haven't, voiced them already, and or any queries about where we're going with our digital journey and how it can assist you. But thank you very much. We really appreciate your time, and enjoy the rest of your week.